deep in an ancient forest in Eastern Europe, there exists a place so dense, so untouched by modern man that it's known locally as the Hollow Wood. It has no trails, no official maps, and according to some, it distorts both time and memory. I am from a small village near the forest. One day in late spring, a 42-year-old cartographer named Thomas Wren contacted me. He was a nature enthusiast and part-time university lecturer who specialized in remote regions. He was looking for someone to survey a large untouched area of forest in the region, and I knew just the place. Thomas arrived in our village the following morning. He was tall and fit with salt and pepper hair. His smile was warm and his eyes sparkled with life. He thanked me profusely for helping him reach this pristine wilderness. After purchasing supplies, he set out alone that afternoon, promising his wife he'd be back before dusk. It was a cloudy day, so I warned him that he might need extra light for his journey, but he assured me that he had plenty of daylight. I waved goodbye and watched him disappear into the woods. That night, the sky cleared and the stars came out. I couldn't help but worry about Thomas. My friends had gone into the forest to check on him, but they couldn't find him and didn't want to disturb him while he was mapping, so they returned home. The next morning, I went to the village elder Baba Yaga and told her that Thomas still hadn't returned. She listened patiently, and when I finished, she replied, "You see, the forest doesn't like strangers. Many have entered the forest and never returned. It's best not to go in there at all." Of course, I knew she was just trying to scare me, so I reassured myself that everything would be fine. Just then, Thomas's tent was spotted in the distance. We ran towards it, hopeful that he was inside. But when we got closer, we saw that his tent was empty. Then we saw his footprints in the soft earth, leading deeper into the forest. I turned back to the village, calling for everyone to grab food and water and follow me. We walked for hours, following Thomas's footprints. My friends began to lose hope, but I refused to give up. Suddenly, Thomas's footprints vanished. We searched for more hours, but there was no sign of him anywhere. Just as I was about to call it quits for the day, I noticed something odd. I felt like we were walking in circles, but I couldn't be sure. As twilight approached, we set up camp and made a fire. I felt helpless, watching the flames dance and flicker, knowing that Thomas was somewhere out there alone and scared. Then I remembered something Baba Yaga had said. The forest steals your memories. Could that be true? I looked at my friends, each with a puzzled expression on their faces, lost in thought. None of them remembered Baba Yaga telling us that. I decided to keep it to myself, hoping that it wasn't true. After we ate, I lay down next to the fire, staring up at the dark canopy above me. I tried to make myself believe that it would be all right, but I couldn't help but feel a growing sense of dread. Then I heard it, a sound so haunting, so sorrowful, that it seemed to seep into my very bones. Soft footsteps circled our tent. Whoever or whatever was outside slowly approached our camp, moving just beyond the edge of our firelight. Then I heard it again, a faint whistling, a tuneless song that echoed through the trees. I felt a cold dread creep up my spine as I realized that the forest was alive, breathing, watching us, and whatever was out there, it wasn't friendly. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of whispers. They seemed to come from all around me, from the trees, from the underbrush, even from the ground beneath me. I couldn't understand the words, but I could feel the malice behind them. I huddled in my tent, paralyzed with fear, unsure if I was truly awake or still dreaming. Then the wind shifted and the whispers faded away. In the morning, my friends were gone. The tent was ripped and torn as if something had tried to get in. I unzipped the tent and crawled out. To my horror, my footprints were gone. The forest had swallowed me whole. I started to panic. What if I never got out of here? What if I was trapped forever? I ran blindly, desperately, but the trees all looked the same. No matter which way I turned, I couldn't escape. After what felt like hours, I stumbled upon a clearing. In the center stood a moss-covered stone marker bearing an inscription. Taking a deep breath, I walked over and brushed some of the moss away to reveal the date, June 3rd, 1871. I looked around to see if anyone was there, but I was alone. I sat down on a nearby log and noticed a small hole in the ground. I reached in and pulled out a moldy, leather-bound journal. I opened it and began to read. The words swam before my eyes. At first I couldn't make sense of them, but as I continued reading, I realized that the journal belonged to a man who had entered the forest 150 years ago, and what he wrote was chillingly familiar. The journal detailed his experiences in the forest, his confusion, his fear, his desperate attempts to find his way out, but the most haunting entry was the last one. It read, "And then I found someone else's camp, a tent just like mine, and a journal with my name on it. I looked up in horror as I heard footsteps approaching. If you're reading this," the voice whispered behind me, "he's watching you now." I whirled around, but there was no one there. When I turned back to the journal, I saw that the last line had been added to the original text. Now it ended with a new line, and then I found someone else's camp, a tent just like mine, and a journal with my name on it. I screamed and ran in any direction, hopelessly lost, until I couldn't feel my legs anymore. Then everything went black. 1 year later, a group of hikers discovered my abandoned tent in the hollow wood. Inside, they found my journal with the last line reading, "If you're reading this, he's watching you now." And that's all for our spooky story today. Let us know in the comments if you liked it and what other scary stories you want to hear. We love reading your comments, and we always respond to them. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this story. Subscribe for more amazing stories. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.